Whenever we speak about Superman, we come back to one word, and that word is hope. In today's video, we're going to dive into the new Superman movie, what it did good, where it stumbles, and how it sets up the future for the DCU. And yeah, we're also going to discuss whether Matt Reeves' The Batman could fit into this universe. I'm going to start off by saying that this is not my favorite comic book movie of all time, and I don't think it's James Gunn's best work. But here's the things I do like about this movie. There was a great dynamic between the actors, and the casting was just great. All of them embodies the characters they play really well. And the atmosphere of the DCU is remarkable. I love how they set things up, I love that they included the Justice Gang, and there is one scene in particular that I want to speak about. It's where Lois and Clark has this conversation between each other, and there is this intergalactic threat going on outside, and Lois is like, bro, you ain't gonna do something about it? And he's like, no. I like this because it establishes that this is a normal occurrence in this world. This is something that happens from time to time, and Superman is not needed for everything. The theme of the movie as well is something I really missed with the Man of Steel, which basically what I'm trying to say here is this version of Superman actually does care about people, not just people, he cares about life. He's trying to save this Godzilla looking thing, and he also saves a squirrel, which really shows that he does care about life. And Superman for me was one of the highlights of this movie, because this is everything I wanted the first DC Extended Universe movie to be, and it felt like a good establishment for the universe. The first half of the movie is kind of all over the place, and well, it was something I think could have been better with a little bit longer screen time, and kind of paced bit to bit a bit better, and not just jump over to the right and to the next segment so quickly. Another thing that I'm going to bring up, and some people might hate me for it and some people might actually agree with me, but I felt like the movie was a bit campy. I'm really happy that they brought like an MCU glance to it with like a good ending and, well, a hopeful Superman and all that. But the movie at some point felt like I've already watched it before, and that's not something I can ignore. And one of the things I think they did pretty well hiding, but it was like the most obvious twist ever, was the Ultraman reveal. And I don't know if I'm disappointed about it, but it was kind of like so obvious, because this, like before the release, it was this great mystery about like who could this possibly be, you know? But when watching it, seeing that it was a clone of Superman kind of like brought no reaction to me whatsoever. But I kind of hope that they use him in the future. Now I want to go over to my most intriguing part of this video, which is talking about the future of the DCU. I've made a little bit of a list here, but firstly it sets up Lanterns. They had Guy Gardner in this one. It's a pretty obvious one, but it's nice that they established a lot of things early on, because it's nice to know that some heroes are already still out there, and we kind of jump into this big universe, rather than having origin stories for each and every one of them. Now we're going to speak a little bit about Peacemaker Season 2. We see a short little cameo of John Cena in this movie. We also see Rick Flag Sr., and I really want to say I hate this cameo, because it's a continuity error, because they didn't color his hair white, and it doesn't make sense, and it might be a small thing to nitpick on, but I think it's lazy. I'm just being honest with that, for sure. By the way, we also have a confirmed cameo of Superman, kind of, in the upcoming season of Peacemaker, and here's some proof of that. So that's also going to be a really cool thing to see. I'm wondering what he's up to in this season of Peacemaker. It also sets up a Mr. Terrific movie and show. He was introduced in this movie as well, and I'm pretty sure that the actor has a multiple movie deal, so I'm pretty sure that they're getting their own movie, which is awesome, because he was one of the highlights of this movie. There is also reportedly a show about Jimmy Olsen getting created, and this show would revolve around Jimmy doing reports about different DCU villains, and that could set up a bunch of different villains in a pretty good sense. And I'm really excited to see that as well. Other ones are confirmed. And another thing that I'm thinking, and James Gunn has spoken about also as well, is that Lex Luthor will probably play a bigger role in the DCU in the future. So I'm really happy that they didn't kill him off, and I'm really excited to see what Lex will do now, because he's probably really furious getting beaten by Superman, because he sees him as this thing and he hates him. So it will be very interesting to see what the future of that will look like. Now we're going to talk about a whole different matter, and that is, would Matt Reeves' The Batman fit into the DCU? I just want to make clear that this is not a yes or no question for me. I've been having a debate with myself about this for a long time, but I've written some things that I want to mention, and well, you do what you want with that. In a way that I think you would fit is that Superman is in his third year and Batman is in his second in the Matt Reeves universe. So seeing these two young superheroes grow into their capes would be such an amazing thing to see. And another thing that makes me really want to think that these two universes could merge is the fact that there are such contrasts to each other. James Gunn's movie was so bright, so colorful, while Matt Reeves' Batman had this red, dark, grey-ish palette. So they're two different contrasts to each other. So that would be very nice to see how that could work together and kind of experiment with that. Now I'm gonna talk about some things that makes me want to think that these two universes probably would not fit together. And one part of that is that the DCU is fantastical and it's supposed to be a bit of fantasy, while the Batman universe is grounded and not supposed to be like that at all. The DCU will be fantastical, and I think that's the reason why these two universes will never merge with each other, because Matt Reeves leans more into this grounded version of Batman, and that's totally fine, but that's not a Batman we will ever see fight besides Justice League against Darkseid. He's not that type of Batman, it's not supposed to be that type of story, and he's not supposed to be that kind of powerful.